What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. How's everyone doing today? It's been a little while since we did one of these, so I figured I'd pop on here for a little bit, see how everyone's doing. I don't know how many people we're going to get in here today because it is kind of a weird time. It's almost 1 p.m. for me, so it's pretty early if you're Eastern time. We have Gerald here. Hey, Gerald. We have Chris here. Welcome, Chris. Abigail says, do you think that Charlie Walker can come back as a killer in Scream 7? I don't think so. There was a time where I did believe this. I have several theories on my channel about this, but I don't think so anymore, unfortunately. I wish that he could. I love Charlie. He is one of my favorite ghost faces. Not everyone will agree with that. He's like in top 5 for me, so I wish that he could come back. Hey, RJ, welcome. Hey, Chris. Hey, Tom, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, if anyone is new here, I'm a big Stu believer. I do believe Stu is alive, leading this cult of ghost faces. So I do think that that is where Scream 7 is headed. How many Stu believers do we have in the chat? Let me know. Yes, of course he is alive. Hey, Paula. Hey, Alex. I personally do not like for Ethan to be in Scream 7. You guys know how I feel about Ethan. He is like my least favorite Ghostface. I like Jason more than Ethan. There's like quite a few Ethan believers out there who think that he's alive because of the whole Stu TV thing. I don't think he's alive. Is it possible? Sure, I guess, but I don't care to see him ever again. Thanks, Paula. Yeah, it's been a little while since I did one of these. Took a little time off after Halloween, took a little break. But we're back. I'm going to try to do these daily live streams. There was a time where I was doing like daily live streams. I want to get back into it. Hey, Raggedy Man. Did you agree with Matthew Lillard's criticism of Scream 6? Not really. I guess I get where he's coming from, but I personally didn't find it too violent. Yeah, no, I don't really agree with his criticism. But to each their own. I think Kirby can be a killer because she wasn't in Scream 5. I found that suspicious. Also, I am a Stu believer. Yeah, I have a few theories on the channel about Kirby possibly being a killer. Will they ever do it? Probably not, but it is something that I would like to see, and I think it could work, but I just don't think that they would ever do it, unfortunately. You may or may not have read this, but do you think Chris Loomis would be a great character? I don't know who Chris Loomis is. I agree. I prefer Quinn over Ethan for sure. Just found your channel earlier this week. Started with your 50 hints about stew. Love the screen content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that one is a big video. One of my longest videos, the 50 stew clues. And it's also, I believe it's my most viewed video. It has like 32,000 views, which is insane. I cannot believe that. But thank you so much. I appreciate this. If anyone here has not checked out my, I have a whole StewMacher playlist. I have almost 50 stew videos, so please check them out if you have not done so already. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. My goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I think we can do it. I am almost there, but I have about a month and 3 weeks left to hit my goal, and let's see where I'm at as far as subscribers. Right now I have 9,833. So I need 167 more. So please, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Yes, I have noticed this in the original Scream. Stu's room, or I guess it's not his bedroom, it's like the attic. There are these dolls hanging from the ceiling. Yes, I do follow Critical Overlord. I know he is not a Stu believer. But stating for a fact that he's dead, no one knows anything for sure. I believe he's alive, but I never state it as a fact because right now it's not a fact. It's just a theory, and it's just what I think. But yeah, I am familiar with his channel. My Halloween was good. I did get some trick-or-treaters, yeah. I do not play this game. I'm not really a gamer, so I am unfamiliar. Don't really have an opinion, but I do think it's cool that they have Ghostface in the game. Don't they have some other like horror characters in that game, or is that maybe like Call of Duty or something? I don't know. But I know like Art the Clown was just added to some game. I think it's cool. Yeah, I didn't really agree that Scream 6 is too violent. I mean, I guess if that's not your thing, then that's what you would think about it, but I wouldn't really say that it's any more violent than any of the other Scream movies. I don't know. Yeah, so Scream 7, because it comes out in 2026, it should be, I mean, it is the 30th anniversary of the original. So yeah, it would be cool if like that could tie into the whole thing with like Stu leading the cult, going after Sydney 30 years later. Yeah, I hope I'm sure that they're gonna like mention it, that it's been 30 years. Did you know that Roman's actor is younger than Billy's actor? I didn't really realize that, no, but like David Arquette, I'm pretty sure like him and Skeet Ulrich are like uh the same age, which is funny because like, Billy was a high schooler and Dewey was like 25. So it's just funny. Like, imagine if David Arquette played one of the students. It seems weird. Hey, Jamie. Yes, please give the stream a like. It definitely helps. Hey, Kenzie. Yes, I am so close. I hope I can get there by my goal of the new year. I haven't really been posting that much lately, which I was thinking like, oh crap, like that's gonna slow down my subscribers growing. You know, the more you post, the more you grow. So definitely got to get back into it. I do kind of have a video in mind to film today to hopefully get up by tomorrow. But yeah, I took a little break. But we're back. Would you have wanted Randy Meeks to be the hero? Yeah, I mean, he kind of was in a way, but yeah, I would have liked if he played a little bit of a bigger role. You know, he was passed out the entire final act, so it would have been cool to see him kind of battle it out a little bit more. And then of course, we all know he dies like halfway through Scream 2, which still kills me to this day. I wish he could have lived to at least the final act of Scream 2 to kind of play that hero role. I mean, I really wish that he would have made it to Scream 3. I would have loved to see more from Randy. There is a con going on in Pittsburgh. Nice. I do hope that we start getting some more news soon. You know, they've really given us nothing so far. So every day I'm just like, please give us something. I mean, they are going to start filming fairly soon. Either sometime in December or January. I think it's January, but that's like less than 2 months away. So hopefully we get some cast updates, you know, like who's going to be the new cast members. Ooh, what if Stu kills Kincaid in front of Sydney? That would be crazy. I have a feeling that Kincaid could die in 7. But I don't know. Yeah, I think Call of Duty has Art the Clown. Yeah, if Stu doesn't return, it will be a huge missed opportunity for sure. And I will definitely be disappointed. I think now's the time. It's the perfect time. Ooh, Call of Duty also has Sam from Trick or Treat. I hadn't heard about that. Yeah, so something that I really wanted to see back when Melissa Barrera was still going to be in Scream 7, knowing that we would get the Billy Loomis hallucinations again, I wanted her to hallucinate Billy at the same time that Stu's on screen to kind of see them together again. And the second that Melissa Barrera was fired, that was like one of my first thoughts like, oh no, now we're not going to get Billy. So it's not possible for Billy and Stu to be on screen again. That sucks. Oh, Scott Foley's 52 and Skeet is 54. You've seen Terrifier 3 8 times? Wow. That's a lot. I've only seen it once. What Scream movie prop would you like to own? I don't know. Maybe like the voice changer from 3? Anything really would be cool. If you could replace the ghost face with Randy, who would you replace rather than him dying? What do you mean? If Randy could be a ghost face, who should he have replaced? Do you think Bailey was telling Sam the truth about Kirby being a ghost face? Probably not. Before 6 came out, I went into 6 with this theory that Kirby was going to be a ghost face. So when Bailey started saying that to Sam, I was like, oh shit, they're really gonna do it. But no, I still am a little suspicious of Kirby, but I just don't think they would have the guts to make her Ghostface, honestly. I wish that they would. Hey, Mickey. To the Stu Truthers, my advice is after Scream 7 has come out, do not see it unless you have heard that Stu is in it. I mean, I personally want to be surprised, so I'm gonna have to see it opening night because I don't want to see spoilers. Like, if Stu's in it, I don't want to hear he's in it before I get to see it. If for whatever reason I can't see it on opening night, I'm throwing away my phone. You're not gonna see me on here. I'm not coming on YouTube. I'm not going on social media until I can see it. But I gotta see it opening night. Worst ghost face, definitely Ethan for me. I can't stand him. I think he's so annoying. In an alternate universe, Randy didn't die in Scream 2, but ended up being revealed as the killer in Scream 3 because he could never get with Sid. Would you prefer that over Randy's death? Probably not. I love that Randy is just like this pure and innocent good guy. I don't if he had been revealed as Ghostface, I do think it would have been a great twist. But a little upsetting. So no, I wouldn't want him to be revealed. Is there a cameo you would like to see in Scream 7? I don't know. I have to think about that. Maybe like one of the actors from Friends, like who's friends with Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston. David Schwimmer would be good because he's in Stab. I think he plays Dewey in Stab 2 or something like that. So that would be funny. Matthew Lillard did say that he thinks he's alive, but then he says he's not in it. But if he was in it, he would lie to us. So he's really just messing with us at this point, and we're just gonna have to wait to see. Yeah, Randy probably would have been a good killer, but like you said, I prefer him being a good guy. I do think Ethan is dead, yes. I know there's like a lot of people out there who think he's alive because of the whole Stu's TV thing. Like, you know, some people say if Stu survived the TV, then that means Ethan, you know, survived. But I don't think that's necessarily true. Like, certain characters survive certain things, you know, just because one character survives something doesn't mean every character is going to survive. I don't know. I just don't think Ethan's alive. Or at least I don't want to see him alive. Hey Jamie, how are you? So Matthew Lillard will be in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but I believe they're going to be filming at different times. Um I do think that this is the reason for the delay for Scream 7. You know, Scream 7 was originally going to start in September or the fall, and then it got pushed back. And Five Nights at Freddy's starts filming like now, and Scream 7 doesn't start for like another 2 months. So I think this is intentional to clear his schedule. I don't think I knew this, that Gail was going to die. Oh, Jamie, I did not know this. I will have to check this out. Interesting. I mean, I think that they're both important to him. He would love to come back to Scream 7, so you know, like I said, I think that they're accommodating his schedule so that he can do both. Hey, Wrestling God. Hey, Ray. You didn't miss too much. Just the usual theories, pretty much. Yeah, it's been rough out here. Like I said, barely any news. They're really making us work for it. I had not heard this, Kenzie. That's wild. I'm going to have to look this up. If Billy wasn't the killer in Scream, who would you have wanted it to be? I don't know. I mean, I think Tatum would have made a good one. Gail also would have made a good one. I don't know. It's hard to think about because Billy and Stu were just perfect. Favorite 5 ghost faces: Billy and Stu, Jill and Charlie. Those are 4. Um, hmm. Who would be my 5th? That's tough. Maybe Nancy. Maybe Mickey. I like Mickey. I don't know. I can't remember what my exact ranking is in my ranking video, but maybe Mickey would be my fifth one. Who do you think really killed Tatum? Yeah, so like you said, I always thought it was Billy, but I know what video you're talking about as far as the evidence for Stu. Um, I don't know. It could be either one of them, honestly, with that additional evidence. And I think it's one of those things we'll just really never know for sure. I guess, however, though, the additional evidence didn't make its way into the movie. It's like it was like in the script and they kind of cut it from the script. So I don't know. If we're basing it just off the evidence in the movie, I'm still going to go with Billy. But I do know what video you're talking about. I think the channel is like Nerds at Night or something like that. Nice. You finally saw Terrifier 3. Um, my ranking, it's really tough. I have been thinking about this. I kind of think for me, I think it's 2, 3, 1. So like the opposite of yours. But it's tough. Like I thought after watching, well, I definitely like 2 more than 1. But then after seeing 3, I said to myself, I think I still like 2 more than 3. But then after I saw 3, I rewatched 2. And I was like, maybe I like 3 more. I don't know. But I definitely like 2 and 3 more than 1. Yeah, I don't know. Um, that's a good question. Um, if filming starts in January, February, March. Yeah, they're probably gonna wrap up in the springtime. So I don't know. I don't know why they're not releasing in the fall. Maybe it has to do with other movies releasing. Like, I don't know how it works when they determine release dates for movies. Like, maybe they look at if there's other popular movies releasing at that time and they don't want to release at the same time. I don't know. If I had to choose between Scream and Halloween, always go and Scream. I do love Halloween, and I loved Halloween before I loved Scream. I loved Halloween as a kid, like a young kid. I was obsessed with Halloween, but I could watch every single Scream movie every single day. How would you feel if we had a Scream movie where the original Stab cast is being hunted by Ghostface for not returning to the sequels? That would be cool. I would like that. This is true. We haven't had a new Friday movie in a while. Is that TV show still happening? I don't know. I don't know what is up with the Friday franchise. Like we heard, I feel like 2 years ago at this point, we heard that there was going to be a Crystal Lake series. And then months ago we heard that it was canceled. And then we heard that it wasn't canceled. They just got like new people to work on it. And I don't know where it stands now. Can anyone tell me in the chat? Are they still working on the TV show or is that completely canceled? Mickey or Amber? Definitely Mickey. Although Amber has grown on me. That is a good scene, Ray. I just went to that Halloween store. It's in New York City. I went this like a month ago for the first time. Art really is hilarious. That is what makes me love the franchise so much. He's so funny. He was so funny in the third one. Jill was a badass. Yeah, some people have these theories that like Roman was secretly in the first movie. I don't think that's true because I don't know. He didn't exist yet. But some people think he was like the grocery store ghost face or the bathroom ghost face. I don't think that's true. Stu had to go back in the house to keep hosting, and the movie is edited in a way to trick us because there is a time gap. Really giving Stu a look isn't enough evidence. Yeah, let me think. I don't know. I just think like Stu sent Tatum to go get more beer. And I feel like he stayed in the party to keep hosting. I don't know. But then, oh, like you said, that ghost face goes back into the house. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. um, for me, I think Randy's death is sadder. Um, the actual scene for Dewey is probably a little more emotional because we actually see it happening compared to Randy, where we don't really see it happening. But I love Randy as a character more than Dewey, so that one just hurts more for me. I honestly think it would have been a good twist if Gail was the killer in 2. Um, and I think, you know, if they were going to make Gail the killer, Scream 2 was the time to do it. I think it's too late now. There's no way that they could ever make her a ghost face 7 movies in. I think Gail would be a good killer. I have seen this video, Raggedy Man. It was cool for sure. I like how Dawn from the first movie was included. Hey, horrors galore. Yeah, you know, I didn't really care for Richie at first, but he's grown on me and I like him now. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. I don't think the show's happening. What made me a horror movie fan? I don't know. I always have been since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I loved Halloween. I loved Chucky. Those were like my two favorites as a kid. I always loved watching scary movies at sleepovers. Um, and then I don't know, I guess now I'm just obsessed with Scream. So I've kind of just always been a horror movie fan. Oh, okay. Raggedy Man says the show is still a go, but with a new showrunner. Yeah, I thought that that's what I heard, but now it's just like we haven't had any news. So, ugh, guys, I apologize. My uh impersonators in the chat. Jamie, did you take care of that or should I? Thanks, Jamie. Hey, Denisha. So annoying. this this impersonator issue. All right, let me see. Where was I? You know, I'll always wonder if Sam would have become a killer of some sort, like a true killer. I don't know. People had these theories that like she would kind of be like Dexter. If you're familiar with the show Dexter, he is a serial killer who only kills other serial killers. So a lot of people had a theory like that for Sam, but I guess we'll never know. Or maybe one day we'll know. Like I feel like years later sometimes they release like the original script for movies or like what would have happened. You know, like several months ago we found out what the original script for Scream 6 would have been if Nev Campbell didn't quit. So maybe we will find out one day. Yes, I would love a Scream movie during Christmas time. Um, this was a rumor that this was going to be the case for Scream 7, but this rumor first broke literally a year ago at this point. We're coming up on a year since Melissa Barrera was fired. Um, that news broke right before Thanksgiving. So it's crazy how time flies. I literally feel like that was yesterday. Insane. And then shortly after that is when Jenna Ortega quit, Christopher Landon quit by Christmas time. But yeah, we first heard in like September of last year or sometime in the fall that it was going to be set at Christmas time. That was a rumor, but we haven't heard anything since then about it. If that's the case, like if 7 does take place for Christmas, it would kind of suck that it comes out after Christmas in February, like almost March. We're moved on from Christmas at that time. I am a fan of Scary Movie. We did a couple watch parties here on the channel for the first one and the second one. And I know that they're working on the sixth one, and the Wayans brothers are back, which is so exciting. Um, what would I like them to spoof? Definitely Terrifier. I think that would be cool. Um, I don't know. What else? Definitely Terrifier. Let me know in the chat what you guys would like them to spoof. Let me see. Ghostface Dream Duo. Yours is Mickey and Stu. Mickey and Stu would be a good one. I feel like they're pretty similar. For me, I mean, I would love to see Stu and Charlie together. I had these theories on the channel. You know, there was a time where I thought Charlie was still alive, so I would have loved to see Stu leading this cult with Charlie as like his partner. Don't think that's going to happen though. I think there's more of a chance that Jill would come back, so I would love to see Stu and Jill as a duo. I think it was Stu who killed Tatum because the ghost face was playful and Billy would get straight to the point. That's a good point. That is a good point. I don't know. I really don't know who killed Tatum. The one thing I can say I hate about Scream is Dewey's death. They knew it would be impactful, which it was, though it makes it worse seeing newer stars be fine after an encounter with Ghostface. Yeah, so my thing with Dewey's death is that I just hate the way they did it. I wish that he was protecting Gail and Sydney. I wish that they were present for the scene. I think it would have been way more emotional. I hate that he died to save Tara and Sam. I don't like that. Someone did point out to me that that just shows how good of a person that he was, you know, willing to save anyone. But it should have been Gail and Sydney. You know, at that point, 5 movies together, so much history, everything that they've been through together. He should have saved them, and they should have been there for it. Ugh, that's what kills me about it. Also, just the fact that, like, the fact that Scream 5 was the first time we were seeing him again in 11 years or 10 years. I kind of wish that everyone survived 5 and then they could have killed him in 6. It would have been nice to get a full movie with him after like a decade away. Favorite Scream opening scene? Definitely the original. You can't beat the original. Do you think Stu and Leslie were ever close? I don't know. I think they could have been. I think it could go either way. I would like to think that they were at least a little close. Hey, Zork. And I mean, I do hope that we see Leslie in 7. I hope that she's kind of been helping. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, it's hard for me to see when the impersonator pops up because I'm far behind in the chat, so I appreciate my moderators. Thank you. I do hope that Leslie can be in 7 and that we find out that she's kind of been helping Stu stay in hiding. I would love to see that. Yeah, Scream 2 is the only opening scene with no phone call. Other than the phone call that's like in the Stab movie that's playing in the theater, there's no official real life phone call. And yeah, I agree with this. It would be cool. Like, this is what I thought was going to happen in 6. I thought we were going to follow along with Jason throughout the entire movie, or at least halfway through the movie, where we would know that he's the killer and we see him interacting with the rest of the characters. Think about how cool that would have been. Like, every scene where we see Jason interact with Tara, like in class or something, we would have been like, oh my God, is this the time he's going to reveal himself to them and attack her? Also, speaking of, being in class in college, I think that's something that Scream 6 needed. I think there should have been a scene of them in actual class. It would have been a callback to Scream 2 because we see Randy, Mickey, Cece Cooper in film class in college. There really wasn't that much actual college in Scream 6, which I wish there was. We really just get like them on campus in that one scene for Mindy's rules. But other than that, like, it doesn't even feel like they're in college really. And then we also have like the frat party, but I would love to see Ghostface in like a Santa costume, like Art was in Terrifier. Yeah, apparently Sydney is in Seattle. I don't think they officially say it in the movie. I think it was like in the original script, but they don't actually say it. So I guess they could always change it. I don't know. For me, Terrifier is actually not that bad. I was scared to see the first one. I thought it was going to be super scary. It's not scary in my opinion. It's actually more of a comedy to me because I just think Art is so funny. But I guess it is very gory if that's what you're referring to. If you can't handle gore, then I guess it is pretty bad. But for me, I feel like the Saw franchise is a little more gory, in my opinion. The Saw franchise actually like turns my stomach a little bit. Terrifier doesn't for some reason. Ooh, yeah, imagine they spoof Hereditary and Midsummer. I've seen both of them, but I haven't seen them in a long time, like since they came out. It's been several years. Yeah, I think the original plan for Scream was a white robe, but then, they realized it looked like something else and they realized they can't do that. That's funny. I don't think any of the scary movies ever spoofed Halloween, right? So imagine they do it now, especially because of the new Halloween trilogy. Scream edits. I don't know if Scream would be as successful without Wes Craven. It's one of those things like, you know, you don't know beforehand how successful it's going to be. And I do think that Wes Craven was a big part of what made those movies so magical. So I don't know. It could have been successful without him, but I think it definitely would feel very different without him. So we just really don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. It could have been successful, but not the same for sure. We have a super chat from Zork. Thanks, Zork. You said I finished my Scream fanfic where Sydney and Roman were partners in 3 and survive into 4 to screw up Jill's plan. Haven't uploaded it yet, though. That's crazy. Wow. Sydney and Roman were partners. I am interested to find out what's up with that. Please send me the link when it's uploaded. Shoot me a message on Instagram. That's crazy. Thank you so much for your super chat, Zork. Let's see. Nice. I'm writing my own version of Scream 7, and I'm including the Carpenter sisters and some of my favorite fan theories. Cool. Yeah, I kind of think Billy was actually trying to kill Stu to kind of sell him out as the killer. Thanks, Jamie. Unfortunately, I don't think that's even going to do anything. I reached out again and they really don't want to help me out with this issue. So, I don't know. I really don't think there's anything we can do. Obviously keep reporting, but I just don't think it's going to do anything, unfortunately. So, we just got to keep blocking them too and letting people know in the chat that it's not me, because this is insane. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, exactly. This is what I think. Gail and Sydney should have been there to see Dewey die. And yeah, it would have been nice if he could have survived 5 to then die in 6. Yeah, a lot of people think Jennifer Jolie is still alive. I would love that. I would love to see her again. I do. So I have this like little theory or just idea, I guess, of a way that we could see her again. You know, if she is dead, if she's not alive. We could see old stab footage or interviews of the cast. So I do think like in 7, I think there's a chance we could maybe go back to Hollywood briefly. And Gail could be working on this true crime show because they kind of hinted at it in Scream 6. Tara said something like, I heard you couldn't get the movie rights, and Gail said it's all about true crime limited series. So what if Gail is working on that in 7 and we see some like real life footage, videos from the set of Stab, cast interviews with Jennifer Jolie. I would just love to see her again any way that we could. Oh wow, you just saw Barbarian for the first time. I I haven't seen it since it came out, which was what, 2 years ago? I've only seen it once, so I'm due for a rewatch. I considered rewatching it during the Halloween season, but I kind of wanted to focus on Halloween themed movies that actually take place on Halloween. So maybe now I should watch it now before I start getting into Christmas movies. Because once like next week hits, mid November, I'm only watching Christmas movies straight through till Christmas. Yeah, the rats scene in Terrifier 3 was a little much. That was like one of the worst scenes for me. Nice, Kenzie. I honestly don't remember if I guessed any of the killers. Um, I think I had a feeling it was Richie because they kind of revealed it in the trailer. Um, I think in the trailer for 5, they show the scene when Sam kills him. You see like the back of his head and his flannel. So it's like, why else would she be stabbing him 20 times? Yes, we all miss Wes. Yeah, I wouldn't like for Sydney to be a ghost face in an actual um Scream movie. However, you know how everyone's saying like imagine they did a new Nightmare version for Scream where it's like, the actors playing themselves? That would be cool to see if like Nev Campbell was the ghost face for a Scream New Nightmare. Yes, I did hear the original reason um for Stu and Billy killing Maureen. It's pretty dark actually. I think it definitely would have changed the tone of the movie like big time. If Billy and Stu won in the first movie, I feel like there would have never been a sequel. If they won, they would have killed Sydney. They would have killed Gail. I feel like it would have been a one-time movie. I don't think there would have been um a sequel. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Stu's motive for wanting to kill the Carpenter sisters, because Billy kind of turned on him in the end. I could see that. But I also would have liked to see um I also would have liked to see Stu try to recruit Sam for his cult to kind of be like, the new Billy, his new partner. That would have been cool to see, especially because in 5 and 6 we see Sam kind of struggling with her dark side. So it would have been cool to see Stu trying to recruit her, play into that. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, so I changed my live stream settings in the past to make it so that only people who were subscribed for a whole day could comment, which really kept them away for a while because it's so hard. Like, if they do make a new account, they have to be subscribed for a day. So it kind of reduced their comments. But I don't want to keep having to do that because I want new viewers to be able to comment. And if someone new stumbles upon my live stream, they can't comment if they haven't been subscribed for a day. So it's just very frustrating. Um, this live stream, I have it set for 20 minutes. So hopefully that keeps them at bay for a little bit at least. I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why I made another community post so that people can kind of know what's going on. Very frustrating. Hey, because movies. I mean, I do feel like Gail is going to die in 7. I mean, so when you say make Scream believable again, I think it's believable for her to finally die. Like, for her to survive 6 times is a little crazy. I mean, she's been stabbed, she's been shot. Just like with Dewey, before he finally died, he even says, like, I was stabbed like 9 times. So for him, the fact that he survived 1 and 2 after being stabbed really bad was already crazy, and then he just kept surviving. I do think Gail should have died in 6. She came very close, so I think her dying in 7 would be believable, especially the fact that every character survives now. Chad survived like 30 stabs total between 5 and 6. Mindy should have died after the subway scene. It's just crazy. And I think they're doing it on purpose to kind of make Stu's return more believable. Like, if Chad can survive 20, 30 stabs, why wouldn't Stu be able to survive 4 stabs and a TV falling on him from not that great of a height? You know? That would be cool. I liked how in Scream 5 they had Dead Meat, the YouTube channel Dead Meat. They had a little cameo. I thought that was cool. And you know, they teased in 5 and 6 Stu being alive. Even on the YouTube thing, next to Dead Meat, or at some point on the laptop, there was a little YouTube video, did the real Stu Macher survive? And, the Stu movement is so big online that imagine they include it in the movie, like, someone is on YouTube scrolling through, and imagine, like, I would die if they showed one of my videos briefly, craving something scary. Everyone here on YouTube, imagine they kind of showed their videos. I think that would be a cool way to connect this stew theory that is in real life and in the movies. Yeah, I can't really remember ever guessing the killer correctly for a Scream movie. There are several other like slasher films that I do guess it correctly. One of them that comes to mind is um My Bloody Valentine from 2009. I knew right away who it was. Um I think Cherry Falls, I knew who it was. There are quite a few movies where I can figure it out, but Scream's never really one of them, which I guess just shows how good these movies are. I'm a new subscriber. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're new as well. Nice. Is this true? I never heard that. Interesting. Let me Google this. Speaking of Kyle Gallner, has anyone seen um Strange Darling, his latest movie? It was so good. I no spoilers in the chat because it's so good. Um and it's kind of a twist. I don't want to talk spoilers because you have to see it. If you have not seen Strange Darling, you have to. Honestly, one of the best movies I've seen recently. Hmm. I can't find anything about him. Supposed to be Charlie Walker. Interesting. Hey, Michael. Yeah, unfortunately, I think Gail's time is up. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt, but you want to feel something from these movies. You don't want to. That's my one issue with Scream 6 is that no one big died. I just didn't care that much. Like I feel like every Scream movie, there's someone that you really care about dying. The first movie was for me Tatum. It hurts when she dies. Um, Even like Kenny, the cameraman, like you're rooting for him. Um, Scream 2, obviously Randy, biggest one that hurts. 3, I guess for me that would be like Jennifer Jolie. That hurt. I cared about her. I wanted her to live. 4 at the time, I guess, was Kirby. Like, obviously she's alive, but at the time you thought she died. So for me, that was like a big death that I cared about. 5, obviously Dewey. And then 6, I just didn't care about anyone who died. I always say like the biggest one was probably Annika, and I just didn't care that much. I'm sorry. Um Gail, when I first watched it, Gail's scene actually made me shed a tear. It was sad. And then she survived. So now when I rewatch it, it doesn't really have an impact. I love the line when she says, "Tell Sydney he never got me." I think that's a good line. But I don't really cry when I see Gail's scene in 6 because she's alive. Hey, Climinator, I am doing great. I hope you are too. I agree. Charlie is so underrated in my opinion. Um, in fact, I have a video on my channel. I think it's called "Why Charlie Walker is an Underrated Ghostface." He's such a good character in my opinion. Before the reveal and after the reveal, I love Charlie. I feel like whatever hate he gets is very unnecessary. Yeah, I agree. I think Kyle Gallner would have been a good Charlie for sure. I mean, I just love Rory Culkin in that role, but obviously, if it had been Kyle at the time, we would have nothing to compare it to. And I agree. I think he would have been good. I just think he would have been a good killer in general. Like, I think Vince in Scream 5 should have been one of the ghost faces. Like it actually would have been cool if Scream 5 was the first movie that we got 3 ghost faces. Like Richie, Amber, and Vince. Would have been good in my opinion. Yes, you gotta watch it um immediately, like tonight. Watch Strange Darling. You will not be disappointed. A little bit like the first 15 minutes or so, I was like, all right, when is this gonna get good? I'm not really feeling it. But I heard nothing but good things about it. But then, you know, it just makes a switch. Like it's so, so good. It's one of those movies that I was thinking about for days after I saw it, which is all that I could ask for from a movie. Like if it's not still on my mind the next day and the day after that, then in my opinion, it's not a good movie. Yes. I always watch Krampus at Christmas time. That's a good one. Last year for the first time I saw Better Watch Out and I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to watch it for the second time this year. Um it gave me Scream vibes. If you've seen it then you know what I'm talking about. Um so those two for sure. Black Christmas. I don't think I've ever seen the original Black Christmas, just the remake from what was it, 2006, I think. Um, yeah, I always watched that one. Not too many Christmas horror movies that I watch. I like the feel good Christmas movies, but gonna have to get into some more Christmas horror this year for sure. Let's see. Ooh, death predictions for Stranger Things season 5. I did do a video on this, so if you're into Stranger Things, if you haven't checked out that video of mine, please do. But I guess I'll say it here too. Um, I think, well, I think Eleven's gonna die. I think she's gonna die to save her friends, to close the gate, once and for all, to defeat Vecna. Um, I think Steve's gonna die because in season 4, he has this conversation with Nancy where he's kind of reminiscing on their past relationship, kind of talking about the future, like this dream that he had about having kids with her. And I just feel like anytime a character starts talking about the future and having a happy future, that's when they're going to die. And then if Steve dies, I think Dustin is also going to die because in season 3, when they're like in that elevator thing down below the in the mall, um Dustin says to Steve, if you die, I die. So I think 11, Steve, and Dustin are gonna die. I I could see them killing off Hopper, but I really hope he doesn't. I love Hopper. He might be he might be my favorite character. Interesting. I never heard this. I feel like there's so much about the franchise that I don't even know. Obviously, more of like the behind the scenes stuff. No way. I Nothing beats the original for me. I always say when it comes to um Scream, like we can all have different opinions. I always respect everyone's opinion, but this is the one thing that I just can't. No offense, you're allowed to think what you want. But I don't understand how people can like the second one more than the first one. Nothing beats the first one, in my opinion. You seem pretty adamant about Gale dying in 7. Why not apply the same logic towards Sydney? No, I mean, yeah, I could see them killing Sydney eventually. I don't know if it will happen in 7. Um, a lot of people don't want that to ever happen. They don't want Sydney to ever die. There's like these rumors that Nev Campbell kind of has it in her contract that she'll never die. I don't know if that's true. Um, but I could see them killing her off eventually, kind of like how like Laurie Strode gets killed off in Resurrection. Um, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to her dying one day. But it's got to be a good death, you know? Yeah, Cotton's not one of my favorites, so I don't really. It doesn't affect me much that he dies in 3. Yeah, I feel like one of these 3 needed to die in 6. I thought it was gonna be Mindy to kind of mirror Randy from 2, because as we know, these new movies are mirroring the originals, and Mindy's kind of the new Randy. They're very similar. Um, so I thought she was gonna die to mirror Randy in 2, but obviously didn't happen. Yeah, I get that. A lot of people say that Gail should have died instead of Dewey. Yeah, I gotta watch the original. And then isn't there another remake from like 2021? I haven't seen that one either. Um yeah, the one from 2006, there are some parts in that that are like very disturbing, and I don't know if the original has the same thing, but very disturbing at times. Okay, the original is not at all like the remake. Yeah, I gotta finally watch it. Every year I kind of say, okay, this is the year I'm gonna watch it, and then and then I never do. Yes, I have seen Totally Killer. I liked it. I considered rewatching it for Halloween because it does partially take place on Halloween, but majority of it is not Halloween, so I kind of passed up on it this year. Stu's motive, I guess, just revenge on Sydney for, foiling his plan in the original. I have not seen this movie. Um Speaking of Hugh Grant though, has anyone seen the movie Music and Lyrics? It's not a horror movie. It's really like a rom-com. But it's starring Drew Barrymore, who of course was in Scream. And I just watched it last night. I rewatch it every year between Halloween and Christmas, kind of as like a transition movie because it's not a Christmas movie, but it kind of has that vibe where like it could kind of be like it feels like it could be a Christmas movie. So I always watch it the week between Christmas and before I start decorating. So I don't know if you're into rom coms, watch Music and Lyrics. It's a good movie. Good music too. Yes, we got another sequel on the way. Um, I am super excited for it. We have confirmation that Freddie Prince Jr. is going to be in it. Brandy is interested in it. She said that she wants to return and that they have reached out to her. So I feel confident that she's going to be in it. Hopefully she is. And then I just I just heard yesterday that the actress, I think her name is Lola Tung, she's going to be in it. And I'm a fan of hers because she is in what's it called? The Summer I Turned Pretty. I love that show. So I am excited. I'm getting more excited for the sequel. Also, Madeline Klein is going to be in the sequel. She's from Outer Banks. Have you heard that apparently the killers in Scream 6 were not meant to be blood related, but instead just vigilantes who believed that Sam was the killer in 5? No, I hadn't heard that. Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't like for Sydney's daughter to be the killer. Yeah, Kirby, I guess Kirby dying in 6 would have been good too. I would have been super upset, which I guess is a good thing cuz like I always say, like you want to feel something from these movies. Um but I'm happy she's alive because I want her to come back in 7, which we don't know yet if she will. Um but apparently we're getting that spin-off with her. So, the 2019 Black Christmas isn't good. Damn. I might have to watch it anyway. The ladder scene in 6 was real. Interesting. I mean, was it a real was it a real building or was it like a set, like a fake building? I have seen Thanksgiving. I saw it last year in theaters when it came out, and then I just rewatched it like last week. It's good. I do like it, but I wasn't blown away by it. Um, I wasn't that crazy about the characters. Like I just didn't feel that attached to the characters. I didn't care when anyone died. It was a good watch. It's a good movie. I think the reveal is good. Um, but I just wasn't blown away by it. I have never seen the original When a Stranger Calls, but the remake though, that's with Camilla Bell, right? I've seen that one. I saw that one when I was pretty young. Yes, this movie honestly is hilarious. It's so good. Thanks, Donald. Yes, please give the stream a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Um, and I do have a second YouTube channel. The link is down below in the description. Oh no, I love music and lyrics. It's so funny. Hugh Grant's so good in it. The music is good. I've never seen Bridget Jones' Diary. Yeah, this is a good line. This is definitely one of her best lines. My favorite Sydney line, though, is from Scream 4 when she says, "Don't F with the original." Ghostface versus the fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Ghostface. Definitely. Let's see. What would you do if Stu returned in Scream 7 with Angelina or Jill and they were a couple raising a family of future serial killers? Um, that would be crazy. I mean, that would be a crazy twist. I'd be open to it. Yeah, I could see them targeting her whole family for sure. I feel like they will because that's just like a dynamic we've never seen before. We've never seen Sydney actually be a mom or a wife. You know, we know that she has kids. We briefly see her pushing a stroller. Um, we know she's a wife and has a husband, but we've never seen her interact with her kids or her husband. So I hope that they show her whole family. Um, Especially because something that I've said is like something that Sydney has struggled with is her mother. Like the the idea of her mom, and Sydney never really knew who her mom actually was, and she struggled with that like after the original, during the original, and then in the sequels like Scream 3. She has a conversation with Kincaid about how she never even really knew who her mom was. So to see her 30 years after her mother's death also be a mom herself and kind of struggle with that, I think that would be cool to see. Um, the storyline I do think is going to be um, Stu Macher being alive, coming back, leading a cult of ghost faces that go after Sydney. You know, they're obviously not everyone believes Stu's alive. But months ago, there was this rumor that there will, in fact, be a cult going after Sydney. And I've heard channels such as Critical Overlord and Beyond the Mask report on that, talking about the cult going after Sydney. But they are not Stu believers. They don't think Stu's alive, but they talked about this cult going after her. So I just think it's funny. Like, I don't know. I think it's all connected. I think Stu leading a cult, going after Sydney. I hope we see her whole family. But I guess we'll see. Yes, there is a Thanksgiving sequel coming. I think Gail is going to be in 7. In my opinion, we have not had official confirmation on this yet. It's been teased like a few weeks ago. Um, Courtney Cox said that she was not officially signed on because they keep um rewriting the script. But then, a week or two later, apparently she said that she's the longest running Scream Queen, so I guess I can't stop now. And everyone kind of ran with that, like, oh, she's officially signed on. I don't doubt that she'll be back. I think she will. But um I don't take that as an official announcement. In my mind, it's not official until she like posts about it on social media. There is a Scream board game. In fact, I have it right here. Funko Games actually sent this to me for free, which was awesome. um, yeah. Another great line. These movies are full of great lines. I am also a huge fan of fish and chips. If I go out to eat and that's on the menu, I will most likely get that. I hope that her daughter's on screen. Um, yeah, so in 5, she does have a baby stroller, but she says I have to take the girls to school. So I have a feeling she has 3 kids, which we kind of learned in they leaked the original script for Scream 6, where apparently she does have 3 daughters. Um Obviously they could change that if they want to, but yeah, we do know that she has a very young child in a stroller in 5. And then the fact that she says I have to take the girls to school makes me think that she has 2 older ones who are school age, because I doubt she's taking a baby to school unless it's like I guess they do have daycares for like 2-year-olds, but I don't know. Yeah, I definitely can see Stu going after the entire family. I hope the killers are not obvious in 7. Like I said, I do think Stu will be one of them. I think he'll be the head Ghostface leading this cult, but then that means that there's going to be several other killers. I have a feeling there's going to be more than there were in 6. Obviously, in Scream 6, we had the most killers we ever had with 3. I think we're going to have more than that in 7, but I don't know if we're actually going to like meet all of them. I think this cult is going to be nationwide, like across the whole country. So I think if anything, we're going to learn about it like on the news. Sydney's going to be watching the news and learn about these attacks that are happening halfway across the country. So in that case, we won't actually meet those ghost faces, but they'll be a thing within the story. So I don't know. I guess we'll see, but the ones that we actually meet that like know the characters, I hope that they're not obvious. Yeah, I agree with this. I definitely want to be shocked. For me, that really hasn't happened since Scream 4. I was not expecting Jill's reveal in Scream 4. Like, that is the first movie I saw in theaters, the first Scream movie. And I remember my jaw being on the floor. And I feel like we haven't had that feeling since Scream 4. You know, even though with 5 and 6, I don't necessarily think I guessed the killers beforehand, but I wasn't surprised when they were revealed. Yeah, so I don't think Sydney had kids in 4. So it would have had to be right after Scream 4. So let's say 2012, that's like the earliest. So what year did 5 come out? 2021? That's 9 years. And then by the time 2026, that's 14. So yeah, I guess she could have a 14-year-old. I mean, I guess it is possible that she did have kids in 4, and maybe she kept it a secret. Maybe she was like scared to reveal personal details about her life for safety reasons. I don't know. But I just always thought that she was single in 4 because obviously she never mentions a husband in 4. And Rebecca says about Sydney she needs to get laid. So I always assume that she's single in 4, but maybe she just didn't share that part of her life with people. I don't know. Hey, chocolate ice. That makes me sad to think about. I mean, happy that they're like together. Um, that's so sad. They both deserved long, happy lives. I agree. 1 and 4 are the best. Um, obviously, for me, nothing beats the original, but 4 is my favorite sequel for sure. Ooh, favorite moment in the whole franchise? It might be Randy's rules in the first movie. I feel like that's just my favorite scene. I love Randy. You know, after Stu, Randy's my favorite character. He's my favorite non-killer character. And I think that scene with him just perfectly sums up the entire franchise. That has to be my favorite moment. Yeah, I wonder how Sydney and Mark reconnected. I don't know. I wonder if they like stayed in touch for all those years, like as friends, kind of, and then I don't know, just decided to get dinner one night and confess their feelings for each other. Hey, Paula. The car scene in 2 with Sydney trapped was so intense and chase scene with Gail. We need more of that. I agree. Fully agree. We definitely need more suspense. Um, that is something that I feel like the first 3 movies for sure did so well. So much suspense, great chase scenes. Um, 4 also, like I love 4. Um, 5 and 6, I just think don't get me wrong, I love Scream 5 and 6, but they just don't compare to the first 3 or 4 movies. Like, it's a shame. But hopefully with Kevin Williamson back for 7, I am hopeful. I'm so hopeful that we're going to get back to um some of that magic that we got for the first 4 films. I think um with Wes Craven gone, I do think that the best person for the job is Kevin Williamson. He doesn't have that much experience directing. I think he's only directed 1 movie, and I've never seen it, so I don't even know what it's like. But just the fact that he is the original writer, he's the creator of this story, of these characters. So if anyone's going to do this, it's going to be Kevin. So I'm hopeful. I think it can be good. We have Nev Campbell as a producer. Courtney Cox is also a producer. Um, I think I think 7's going to be good. I have a feeling 7 is going to be way better than 5 and 6 for sure. Interesting. I never noticed. I'm not a huge fan of Friends, I will admit. I know Friends is like so popular. I've seen a lot of it. It's always on TV. I've seen many of the episodes many times, but I'm just not that crazy about it. Um, so I never noticed. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, yeah, like I said, maybe uh she didn't want to let out personal information. It's definitely possible. I mean, if you think about it, like, you know, they're kind of flirty in Scream 3, and then we find out in Scream 5 that they're married. And between those 2 movies, there's only 1 movie, Scream 4, but between that, it's like 20 years, from Scream 3 in 2000 and Scream 5 in 2021. That's a big gap. And there's only 1 movie in between that. So, yeah, like you said, maybe she just didn't want to give out personal information. I would like to think that Dewey and Gail knew, but they kept it to themselves. Um, I don't know. If Ghostface attacks happen across the country in Scream 7, would that be considered terrorism in the movie? I guess, yeah. If it's happening nationwide, probably. Yeah, you know, I like Friends. It's just not my favorite. You know what show I do love? Um, How I Met Your Mother, which I definitely think was heavily inspired by Friends. But I feel like I just feel like How I Met Your Mother is so much funnier than Friends. I don't know. Will Chad finally die in this movie, stabbed 100 times and still living? I don't know. As far as we know, he's not even in the movie. You know, last we heard from Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown months ago, they both said that they had not been contacted. So that makes me think they're not going to be in the movie. I could see one of them or both of them being in the opening scene and possibly getting killed off that way. I don't know. I mean, um, Mason Gooding is in this Valentine's Day horror movie that he's going to be in, which the teaser trailer just released recently. Um, isn't that a Spyglass movie? So he's still on good terms with Spyglass. So if they wanted to include him in the movie, they could. But I don't know. They might just want to move on completely from the core four. They might not want any of the core four in the movie. Congrats, Jamie. That's awesome. I know you just had your anniversary pretty recently, right? I think I saw you posted it on Instagram. Yes. I think Eddie Munson will come back in season 5. I talked about it in my one video that's on my channel. Um yeah, I don't think he's dead. I think Eddie Munson will be back. At least I hope so. Um my theory is like I don't even remember um everything that happened in season 4, but there's something with the upside down that's like frozen in 1983, but currently we're like in 1986. So I think there's like a version of Eddie that could still be alive in 83. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right, I guess it looks like I am caught up in the chat. I would love for Billy to come back. Um I just don't know if they'll do it. Um Wait, so he dies at the end of 3, but didn't he come back for a little part in 4, like not actually alive, but like a hallucination or something? I could definitely see them at least having him included some way like that in 5. Um yeah, I love Billy. He was a great character. You know what? I totally get where you're coming from about the ending. for How I Met Your Mother. Um, and at first, when I first saw it, I felt the same, but it's kind of grown on me. I feel like it was always about Robin. In Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, Wes is directing Scream 4 and the killer was a monkey. I've never seen this movie. So when the real Scream 4 happened and the killers weren't a monkey, I was so disappointed. I've never seen it, so I'm unfamiliar. Okay, so I said earlier in the stream, I think Dustin, Steve, and 11 all are gonna die. Unfortunately, I think 11 is going to die saving her friends, um, and trying to close the gate once and for all. I think Steve's gonna die, and I think Dustin's also gonna die because in season 3, he says to Steve, "If you die, I die." And I think that was kind of like foreshadowing. So, I think Lucas will live. I guess I could see Will dying, but I don't know. Um, I would love for 7 to be dark for sure. Um, as I absolutely love the Scream movies, but they're not really scary in my opinion. So it would be cool if 7 could be darker for sure. Yeah, 7 definitely should have some actually scary scenes. There's never been a moment in any of the Scream movies where I like jump, where I'm actually scared. I feel like the scariest scene is like the dream of Maureen in Scream 3. Yeah, I've never really seen any of the Jay and Silent Bob movies. What year did that one come out where he's making the fake Scream 4? I'm just curious how long before actual Scream 4 did that one come out? Hmm. I don't know. I did a live ranking of this. I did a live ranking of all the deaths in the franchise. If you want to check it out, it's in my live stream section of my channel. There's like 60 deaths in the franchise. um I can't remember how I ranked them, but if I had to say right now, um best, I mean, maybe Olivia, just because it's like the most brutal. The worst? Hmm. Trying to think. Probably something from Scream 3 because those kills were very tame. Um Maybe like Sarah Darling. She just gets stabbed like one time. Definitely something from Scream 3 is the worst. Ooh, I've never seen a movie like this where they, like, shake the seats and stuff like that. Okay, it was in 2000. Yeah, I've never seen any of those. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to start doing these daily live streams again. There was a time where I was doing them, like, every day. Kind of took a break since Halloween just because Halloween was a lot, like, I was putting out a video very often, doing these live watch parties every night. Um, so I just took a little break, but we're back. Gonna start posting more videos, more live streams. Gonna try to live stream every day. Um, but I do think that's it for today. We've been going for 2 hours, which is amazing. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, I gotta check these out. I've really never seen any of them. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. This was a blast. Good to be back. Feels good to be back live streaming with you guys. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna pop on here tomorrow at some point. I don't know what time. Oh wow, today's Friday. I literally thought it was Thursday. That's crazy. I hope you guys have a good Friday night. Hopefully you do something fun. But yeah, turn on all notifications on my channel so that you don't miss out when I do go live, because I don't always plan these things ahead of time. I kind of just come on here when I get a free moment. So, if you don't want to miss it, turn on all notifications. Yes, thank you for reminding me. I will check it out, Jamie. But thank you, you guys. I hope you have a good evening, Friday evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.